Okay, Ozzy offered the one stick fire challenge. The notion is that you're supposed to take a stick of wood that you find out in the bushes, and this is something you should be doing in the bush, but I'm not in the bush. And the trick is you take one stick of wood that you find in the bush that is no bigger than your wrist and no longer than your forearm. Since I'm inside the house and I just have a bunch of sticks of wood like this and this, I just picked one that was the nearest thing. Now, this is approximately the same size as the stick that I took. It's a little bit longer. It's smaller than my wrist. It more or less meets the criteria more or less. And it's what I got, and the wood that I have is also green. Really, really green. So, here's what I did. Having just purchased this knife, I figured I'd give it a shot. So, I carved everything up into tiny little itsy bits, growing larger and larger and larger and thicker, I should say, and larger still, until I finally get these chunks that are about, I don't know, half an inch to 3/4 of an inch in diameter. So this is what I've processed the stick into. Now, I've never lit a fire using a ferro-rod in my life, and so I shall now attempt for the first time to light it and allow you guys to chuckle at my work. This cup is my typical coffee drinking cup. I think it's 10 ounces or so. I've poured it into this coffee maker that I have, and let us begin the experiment where everybody gets a snicker and leave good advice. So I'm going to start off with, oddly enough, not the small pieces, but some of the smaller pieces to create a base for my chips so that air can move underneath them. And then I'm going to take my finest chips and put them all together. Now, if I can get these lit, chances are that I'll do quite well. Now, let's scoop up the really, really thin little bits to give myself every possible chance. Now, I can't screw this up, because if I screw this up, I don't get to have my cup of coffee, and that's pretty much life or death. So I think it's fair. Okay, so this is as small as it gets, and I'm gonna pull out the ferro rod that comes with this. I scratched it once just to see how it would work. Using ferro stuff in there apparently is cheating, but I do need to scrape the original paint off here. So I'm going to give it a little bit of a scrape, just so that the silver stuff shows up. There we go. Let's hope that this is good. All right. Ooh, nearly got one there. Well, this apparently is an acquired skill. One that I haven't gotten yet. But this is my first time. Okay. Long scrapes are better than short scrapes. Now this stuff is totally green. So either I'm really bad at this, or that's white hasn't lit. Come on, you son of a bitch. If I were in the woods, I'd be dying. I get a few light little things starting, but it isn't catching. And incidentally, I noticed that it's making some ridges here. I don't know if that's natural or if it's just me who's not doing it correctly. Ooh. Come on now. Well, you bloody light. I don't know what I could be doing better. I think I've worn off half my stick by now. Not sure what I'm doing wrong. Yeah, I get these tiny little bits that start, but they don't catch. Come on. Right now, there's a bunch of experienced bush people who are cringing. Okay. Some of the stuff grabs, but I don't know what I'm doing wrong here. One would think that you'd have a few sparks that would just sort of sit. See, the end of some of these catch, but it doesn't seem to catch on the 1,000,001 other little ends that are in here. Let's take some really fine ones here. Okay, let's try again. Come on. See, I get little baby beginners, but they're not catching. I don't know if it's my technique. I don't know if it's because the wood is really, really wet. So, what can I possibly do? I don't know how to make these any finer. So, let's see if I can just create some kind of dust here. Let's get this started before my iPod runs out of video space. Well, it runs out of hard disk space. You know, just a little bit of paper or leaf or bark. Okay, at this point, I'm frustrated. I'm going to send this video to Ozzy, and let's see if he's got any advice for me on it.